Hey there, Chris Bassett here, and in today's video I'm diving into killer meal prep, high-protein chili. Let's get into it. This is perfect for athletes or anyone looking to fuel their workouts with something healthy, macro-friendly, and super easy to make in bulk. This chili is loaded with protein, beef, and beans. So go ahead and grab yourself some pinto beans. I prefer the dry beans, so you gotta let these soak overnight. I get the 4-pound bag from Walmart. You wanna use 2 cups. So 2 cups would be a good balance between the meat and the beans. Letting it soak overnight will allow the water to absorb to the beans. They cook smoother, taste better. You gotta let it set at least 8 hours. So cold water overnight. You can also buy the canned beans, but this just saves money. I'm looking to get as much protein packed in with as few dollars as possible. It's budget friendly. All right, so it's the next day. Let's go ahead and strain the water off our beans. And I'll be cooking in the crock pot. So it's my favorite way to cook. Just throw stuff in the crock pot, come back 4 hours later, and it's good to go. So we're gonna drain off the water. I got a strainer here, and then my crock pot's over here to the left. Throw the beans in first. I find that way all the juices from the tomatoes and jalapeños drain down over top of the ground beef and the beans, adding extra flavor. I'm also using 2 pounds of 80% lean ground beef, 1 large red onion, 5 jalapeños, and 2 cans of the Rotel diced tomatoes and green chilies, the 28-ounce cans. I like to brown my ground beef, that way I can drain off the extra fat, so go ahead and throw a pan on the stove, turn it up to medium-high, and get that ground beef going. With the skillet over medium-high heat, let's go ahead and break up the ground beef, and you want to cook it until it's browned. About 8 to 10 minutes. No need for oil, the beef has enough fat. We will be draining the excess fat for a leaner chili as well. Feel free to season with a pinch of salt and pepper, or add a little extra chili powder for flavor. Next, let's prep the other ingredients. So I wash off my vegetables, get the jalapeños and onion nice and clean. We're gonna chop it up and then remove the stems. The other thing to think about is you may want to remove the seeds for less heat. I enjoy the seeds because I like it hot. So I'm going to leave those in, but you could wash the seeds out, and that will make a milder chili. So let's go ahead and dump the jalapeños in the crock pot, and we're ready for the next set. Double check your ground beef, see how it's doing. You may want to flip it and try to get the other side of the ground beef brown. Next up is the red onion. I like to chop off the top and the bottom and then peel off the outside layer. It's pretty gross, but you'll want to chop the onion into small pieces. So we'll go ahead and peel off the outside, rinse it off real good, and then chop her up. I like big chunks of onion, so I'm not going to dice it. It's easier that way if you just cut it into quarters and throw it in the pan. It'll cook up anyway, but I like my chili chunky. And right around this time, the ground beef should be good to go. Check it out, looks delicious. So we're going to pour the beef in the strainer with hot water and then rinse off all the fat, giving yourself a leaner chili. I think the flavor is a little better, and then we're going to dump that in on top. And then the last ingredient is both cans of diced tomatoes and green chilies. Just open those up and then pour them on top. That way all the juices flow from the top bottom. I like to set the temperature on high for 3 to 4 hours and let her cook. You can also run it for 6 to 8 hours on low and slow if you want a little more tender. Perfect, so I'm going to go ahead and throw the macronutrients on the screen. This makes between 8 to 10 servings. Chili's high protein, which is clutch for muscle repair and after heavy lifts. 38 grams of protein per serving hits the sweet spot. The carbs from the beans and tomatoes, about 23 grams per serving, give you energy for your workouts without overloading you. And the fats, mostly from the beef, support hormone production. Get that testosterone. I do like to throw cheese on top of my chili. That'll add a little bit more protein, a little bit more fat, but it tastes so much better. And there we go. I had my dinner, and then I'm going to go ahead and throw the other 7 servings in some Tupperware, throw it in the freezer. That way I've got meals for the rest of the week. Easy meal prep. Hey, check out some other videos over here. I got some Amazon links down in the description. Check out those links. Help support. Really appreciate it. Any other questions or comments, put those below. Thanks.